Hey y'all, happy Saturday. Thank you so much for coming to watch another What Else is Going On, aka WEIGO podcast video. I hope y'all Saturday is going well. And if not, I do pray that it gets better for y'all. Y'all, it's hot outside. I went to the National Harbor in DC for a little bit today, and it is hot. So make sure y'all are staying cool. Use y'all Black Girl sunscreen. And listen, did y'all do what I told y'all? Tweet to Black Girl sunscreen and tell them at We Go Podcast, y'all need to sponsor her because she raves about your sunscreen. All right, I just want to get into a couple of topics with y'all today. I wanted to talk to y'all yesterday, but y'all know how it goes. But what is the word for June? Consistency. What are we taking into July? Consistency and discipline. Again, let me know what y'all words are. If it's the same word, if you're rolling over a word, if it's going to be a new word, because we are all in this together. First up, y'all, let's talk a little bit of Bravo, Shannon Beador. So y'all know we are anxiously awaiting for the Real Housewives of Orange County to come. The trailer looks so good. It looks like it's going to be old school Housewives. So you know the scene when Shannon decides to take some vodka and Tamra says you ran your car into a house. So remember, y'all, she hit a house. She clipped a house. So we have an update. So according to Radar Online, ahead of deadline, RHOC star Shannon Beador completes court-ordered community service for DUI arrest after avoiding jail time. Real Housewives of Orange County star Shannon Beador has finished the court-ordered community service she was required to complete following her DUI arrest last year. In Touch reports that the Bravo star got her 40 hours of community service in by working at a nonprofit organization for 4 days this month. She finished up on June 13th, a month ahead of the July 16th deadline as set by the court. Y'all think she did it because she wanted to be seen publicly drinking more? Because you know she's going to be out at the Quiet Woman. Anyway, in November 2023, Beador was sentenced to 36 months of informal probation, required to pay a series of fines in order to complete 40 hours of community service and a 9-month alcohol education class as a result of her arrest. As RadarOnline.com previously reported, the reality TV personality pleaded no contest to 1 count of driving under the influence and 1 count of driving with a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or more after crashing her car into a building in Newport, building, aka somebody's house, in Newport Beach, California, on September 17th, 2023. After hitting the property, she drove away, parked her car down the street, and pretended she was walking her dog around the neighborhood when the police arrived. Listen, we're glad again that Shannon didn't unalive anybody, unalive herself, Archie, anybody. And good for her that she completed her community service. We hope that she continues on a better path than clearly what she was on. Are y'all looking forward to the new season of Orange County? I know I am. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Moving on, let's talk about Summer House Martha's Vineyard. So you know I loved Summer House Martha's Vineyard. I'm gonna be honest, y'all know I did not care for Amir. I felt like Amir treated it like it was a social experiment in blackness for him. I know that his daddy was black and his mom, I believe is Middle Eastern. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't be curious about his culture. I would too, right? If you weren't raised around it. But I just felt like it was more of an experiment for him versus him really wanting to do it. And I could be wrong. That's just how I felt. But anyway, according to Page Six, Summer House Martha's Vineyard star Amir Lancaster engaged to Natalie Cortez, a lifetime with my best friend. Congratulations are in order for Amir Lancaster and his girlfriend, Natalie Cortez. Y'all remember Natalie? She came and kicked up all that mess. The Summer House Martha's Vineyard star, 27, revealed he and Cortez got engaged via Instagram on Friday. Lancaster shared a photo of Cortez flaunting her new rock on his IG stories to share the news. Now, it is a pretty ring, y'all. Can't believe I get to spend a lifetime with my best friend, he wrote next to a photo of the beaming bride to be. They appeared overjoyed, but not everyone was thrilled by the news. So, y'all, some people in the comments are wild. Somebody wrote the definition of if you like it, I love it. Another one wrote, this alone is worth the show being put on pause. That is not nice. Somebody else wrote, yikes, this is a mistake. Amir took the criticism in stride and defended Natalie with a response. Thank you to those who chose to send kind words, along with 2 prayer hand emojis. And then he said, the rest of y'all with an unamused emoji. Look, no matter how I feel about Amir, if he found love, good for him. Congratulations to Amir and Natalie. I do not want to see y'all back on my TV screen. But congratulations to y'all, and I hope that y'all have a beautiful life together. We knew it was coming anyway, though. Remember Andy asked him at the reunion, like, when did Natalie tell you to propose? So congratulations to them. Let's talk about, now this story, y'all, is wild. And I want to know what y'all would do, because at the end of the day, if you think you see something, you want to say something, right? But what if it's not what you see? So this is according to the Jasmine brand. Atlanta man's viral video misidentifies family move as a human trafficking event. Y'all, I told y'all Zoom changed everything around. I cannot figure out how to share the screen. I'm gonna figure it out though by next week, because I would show you all the picture. But basically, it's a budget moving truck, and he's driving behind it. Following a series of viral videos depicting a disturbing scene involving a moving truck in Atlanta, authorities have clarified that there was no evidence of human trafficking. Langston Proper, the man behind the videos, initially reported what he believed to be signs of human trafficking to authorities after seeing what appeared to be a body part protruding from a budget moving truck. Y'all, I'm looking at the picture, and the dude looked like the bottom of somebody's feet showing out of the bottom of the moving truck. So he says, good morning to the city of Atlanta. Hashtag human trafficking is real. My day yesterday started out as me going with the normal flow of hashtag TGIF to turning into the good hashtag Marvel hero of saving humans from being trafficked off. I never would have thought I actually would have seen this right in front of my eyes, and not just in movies or hear about it word of mouth. I followed them from Midtown Atlanta all the way to hashtag Gwinnett County. He said almost damn near to hashtag, sorry, Lake Lanier. My ancestors and God said, don't stop, give in. Oh, my ancestors and God, he didn't put God in it, said, don't stop, give in, or give up. Stay with them. We will guide you and protect you along the way. Hashtag human traffic awareness. The slideshow starts from the end to the beginning. We must bring awareness to this matter. I'm reading how he wrote it. We are all someone loved one, and we all deserve our freedom at any cost, with the fist emoji. I'm proud to be blessed with the gene of being fearless. So after he followed them, he alerted Gwinnett County local police, and they responded swiftly, which was great, intercepting the vehicle near Sugarloaf Parkway on Interstate 85 northbound. Upon investigation, officers discovered two families. So there were two families inside the truck, totaling 8 individuals, including 2 juveniles. Despite initial concerns raised by Langston Proper's videos, the occupants were found to be neither in distress nor tied up. According to a spokesperson from the Gwinnett County Police Department, the families explained that they were relocating from Alabama to Maryland for new job opportunities. The truck contained their personal belongings, and the individuals appeared healthy and cooperative during the encounter with law enforcement. The spokesperson added the truck driver was cited for allowing passengers to ride in the back without seatbelts, because nobody's supposed to be back there. The occupants were then dropped off at a local business to arrange alternative transportation to Maryland. Y'all, you know they was hot because they was still in Atlanta and had to get to Maryland. Langston Proper's videos, initially posted on June 21st, quickly gained traction on social media, amassing thousands of views and prompting many users to suspect human trafficking. So what do y'all think you would have done? Because on the opposite side of it, now that we know it wasn't human trafficking, it's very easy to say he should have minded his business. He should have went on. But what if, in fact, it was? He did think he saw human bodies, and in actuality, he did. So if it was human trafficking, he would have been saving them. As it is, it wasn't. I kind of look at it like I would rather be safe than sorry. If I was driving and saw a body part out of the back of a budget moving truck, because I know if it was my body part and I was being trafficked, I would want somebody to call help for me. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think y'all would do. Moving on, let's talk about Uvalde. So y'all remember the pow-powing that had took place at the school, and teachers were unalived and students were unalived. And there's been this debate of, should the officers have done more? You know, parents were ready to go in and get their children. Well, we have an update. This is according to Love B. Scott. Uvalde School District Police Chief indicted on child endangerment charges over school shooting response. The former Uvalde, Texas School District Police Chief and another police officer have been indicted by a grand jury more than 2 years after the Robb Elementary School shooting. Well, powing, sorry, y'all, in which 19 innocent children and 2 teachers were unalived. Peter Arredondo, chief of police at the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District Police Department, was indicted on 10 charges of child endangerment in connection with the police response to the 2022 powing, according to the San Antonio Express News, Uvalde Leader News, and Texas Tribune. Arredondo, who was placed on administrative leave a month after the massacre before being fired, turned himself into the Uvalde County Jail before being released on $10,000 bond. ABC News and the San Antonio Express News reported. Former school district police officer Adrian Gonzalez was also indicted on 29 counts of child endangerment, one for each child in the classroom, according to the outlets. Gonzalez, who had SWAT training, was the instructor for active power training for the Uvalde School Police, according to the San Antonio Express News. It's not immediately clear if either suspect has entered a plea or retained an attorney. The Uvalde District Attorney's Office did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. A lawyer for Arredondo and Gonzalez has not been listed. The indictment comes after the U.S. Justice Department released its incident review in January that heavily criticized the response of police. The review found that leadership failures and the officers' delayed response in attempting to neutralize the gunman. 77 minutes transpired before Border Patrol officers ultimately powwowed him, preventing more lives from being saved. Most of the 380 officers from 24 local, state, and federal agencies who responded to the incident had never trained together, the report found. Arredondo and Gonzalez were reported to have been among the first officers that arrived on the scene after the 18-year-old gunman began opening fire at around 11:38 a.m. on May 24th, 2022. Arredondo has been listed as the incident commander on the school district's active shooter response plan, though he previously told the Texas Tribune that he did not consider himself to be the commanding officer on the scene that day. Other officers told the publication that they disagreed with his decision to wait for more equipment and more officers before breaching the classrooms. Family members of the victims have said they would like to see more indictments against other responding officers. I'm really hoping this is just the beginning of indictments that may be coming down. Jesse Rizzo, whose niece, Jacqueline Cesares, died in the shooting, told the Texas Tribune, there are a lot of officers that need to be held accountable. The police really fumbled the entire situation, and sadly, it cost lives. I have to agree, if you are trained in SWAT, there was no reason for them not to go storming that school and then for them to be restraining parents from going in trying to save their children. My heart's out again to those families who lost someone that day, but I agree. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's talk about Rachel Lindsay. Y'all know that Rachel was on the podcast a couple of months ago. Make sure you check out the audio version of What Else Is Going On podcast, wherever it is you listen to your podcast, Apple, iTunes, same thing, I know, Amazon Music, Spotify, type in What Else Is Going On and download it. But let's get into what Rachel said. So this is according to page 6. Bachelorette alum Rachel Lindsay blasts estranged husband Brian Abasolo for exaggerating glamorous lifestyle trips in divorce petition. Rachel Lindsay is blasting her estranged husband, Brian Abasolo, for allegedly exaggerating their glamorous lifestyle in his January divorce petition. In Lindsay's responsive declaration, exclusively obtained by page 6 on Thursday, I guess they got the scoop on Radar Online, because y'all know Radar be having all the paperwork. The former Bachelorette star says she does not consent to Abasolo's request for spousal support and attorney's fees. This is what Rachel said. I am not flush with cash as he believes me to be, and I certainly cannot pay his attorney $75,000 to litigate our uncomplicated divorce. If I did so, I would not have sufficient funds remaining to pay my own counsel. The former lawyer claims she has approximately $88,500 in non-retirement funds. Does that mean like her savings or I guess maybe stocks or whatever, just anything other than retirement, I guess. And that her financial situation has changed in the last few years. Lindsay currently co-hosts the Higher Learning podcast with Van Lathan. I have had sporadic social media deals, but my primary source of income since 2023 has been from my work with Spotify, she explains. The ex-reality star goes on to say, wait a minute, okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Child, you know how the page scrolls down. I'm like, where was I? The ex-reality star goes on to say that the estranged couple's marital standard of living, in parentheses, MSLON, I'm sorry, MSOL, y'all, was nowhere near as glamorous as Brian portrays it to be, alleging that the two rarely saw each other or even lived together during their brief marriage. So she's trying to say that he painted a different picture of what their marriage was, when the reality is they rarely saw each other or even lived together during their brief marriage. That is wild. According to Lindsay, she and Abasalo, a 44-year-old chiropractor who also hosts podcasts and receives income from social media, had a wedding ceremony in Cancun in August 2019. However, we were legally married on October 4th, 2019, she said. Oh, okay. They agreed that their date of separation is December 31st, 2023. Abasalo, who met Lindsay when he competed on The Bachelorette in 2017, filed for divorce on January 2nd. At all times, Brian and I maintained separate bank accounts, checking and savings, credit cards, retirement accounts, and brokerage accounts. We had zero joint accounts during our marriage, she writes, as she previously revealed that they did not sign a prenuptial agreement. From October 2019 to March 2021, before we moved to Los Angeles, Brian and I split all the household expenses. I used my income and he used his. Since moving to Los Angeles in March 2021, I have paid our housing costs, costs to care for our pets, including their food, medicine, daycare, boarding, vet bills, and pet insurance, and Brian's health insurance, while he paid the gardener and contributed to some of the housekeeping costs. According to Lindsay, the pair's marital home in LA was purchased in February 2022 with funds from her premarital separate property. She alleges that Abasalo continues to reside in her house without contributing any funds to the carrying costs. Wow. Lindsay goes on to explain their travel, saying their trips were either sponsored or they each paid their own airfare. If I was paying, I did not fly Brian business or first class. He flew economy. Okay. We generally split the hotel costs 50-50, claiming that Brian conflates many of the trips that they took before marriage with those that they took during marriage. Lindsay claims Abasalo fails to note that the cost of many of these non-recurring trips were subsidized by other sources. Before marriage, we went to Mexico twice, once to visit our wedding venue and once for our wedding ceremony. During their marriage, Lindsay explains that Abasalo took her to Santa Barbara once for her birthday trip, for which he paid. The NFL sent me to Tennessee once for a non-recurring work trip and paid for our travel. I went to New York often for work. Brian sometimes accompanied me. Lindsay goes on, we went to Sarasota, Florida, twice for back-to-back weddings. We went to Washington, D.C., once to attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I paid for this trip. Lindsay claims she and Abasalo went to Colombia once to attend his cousin's wedding, and that they each paid their own way and they split the hotel 50-50. Lindsay notes that they took one sponsored trip to Mexico during their marriage with another couple from The Bachelor, adding that they did not pay for this trip. He did not mention the trip to Aruba that we were paid to take, she writes. Lindsay adds that the restaurants Abasalo named in his declarations are not places they frequented. For example, we went to Mother Wolf once to celebrate a special occasion. Brian paid for his meal. Lindsay alleges that she and Abasalo very rarely went out together and did not even go on monthly dates because Brian often worked late into the night and she traveled a lot for work. That is a lot, y'all. It's just wild how they can people go from, loving each other and, wanting to be with each other and in each other's presence to, look, we barely spend time together. I don't even like you. You're going to pay for your own hotel. I'm going to pay for mine. I mean, I get it. I understand. Whew, but they didn't sign a prenup, so who knows how the judge is going to rule. We shall see. All right, y'all. I just wanted to talk to y'all again about a couple of things, check in with y'all for the weekend, and say again, I hope that your weekend is doing well. I think I'm gonna do a video tomorrow talking about Auntie Wendy. Man, my heart goes out to her to hear that she allegedly had $55 million. Her best friend, Reg, testified and did an affidavit and swore everything was true, that she saw Wendy's combined statements, and Wendy had $55 million to now her having nothing after she got into a conservatorship. Whew. In the words of Wendy Osefo's mama, Holy Ghost fire need to rain down on that. What's the person called? That conservator and the judge who put her over Wendy. But anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think about the stories we talked about. Rachel and her divorce is getting ugly, honey. Uvalde and some of the officers being charged due to their delayed reactions that day with the students and teachers. The man in Atlanta who was really trying to be a good citizen and possibly stop human trafficking. Let me know what y'all think about Amir getting engaged. Y'all probably think nothing, as I do. And let me know what y'all think about Shannon completing her court-ordered community service for DUI. I love y'all so much. I will talk to y'all later. See you.